This is Welcome Sherri Jones. She is an elementary school librarian and she works for the District of Columbia Public School System. She's one of my colleagues, and she has a powerful message about Canva. And she's done some very interesting things that she's done for our entire district that I really want you to pay very close attention to. So I want to make sure that you have presenters' rights. So take it away, Sherri.
Good good morning. I was getting ready to say good evening. I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning, so don't ask. Um, I'm going to try and share these slides with you um, because I don't have um, a dual monitor here at home. So let's see if I can get this going. I want to do advanced. I don't have any sound in my slides, so I'm going to share. And if I get to, okay, can everybody see my slides? Can you see them?
Yes.
Okay, good. All righty. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you today. And Casey, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Um, I was extremely nervous about presenting. Presenting is not my jam unless I'm in front of a room full of students, but I couldn't resist the call from Casey, so here I am. I'm in elementary school in Washington, D.C., and as many of the presenters have said, being a school librarian is absolutely the best job. On day 2, my colleague, Ashley Rose, who I think is on the call today, talked about freedom in the library. And as a former Montessori educator, that naturally led me to thinking about Dr. Maria Montessori and her thoughts on freedom and discipline and on choice. Montessori believed firmly in giving students choice in their environment. She said free choice is one of the highest of all the mental processes, and student choice is rooted in equity. Student choice is more than simply picking a task. It's about owning the entire learning process. And that last quote is by John Spencer. So a little bit about me. Sherri Jones. I'm a Montessori trained educator. I'm a lifelong learner. My library is a very messy, loud place full of students who love to learn and explore the world. And this past year, it has been a bastion of Hot Wheels tracks. That has been the kids' favorite choice activity for centers. I'm a firm believer that we give children the keys to the world and let them explore. I've been in the education field for 26 years. I've worked as a Montessori educator. I've been head of a small private school. And for the last 7 years, I have had the best job as a school librarian. So, choice boards. During the pandemic, I really struggled with how to reach my students. I was a fairly new librarian, and at that time, um, I was working part time in 2 schools in my district. Um, and so, balancing different communities, trying to get things out to students was difficult. And I know, like many of you, maybe your teachers weren't as technically savvy. I know my administrators were not as technically savvy. So, trying to balance both communities, trying to help the staff get ramped up, it just was a lot. And I stumbled across The Library Voice by Shannon Miller. And many of you know Shannon. And one of the things I saw in the Library Voice was a choice board. And I was like, wait a minute, I need to try that. And so that began my love affair with choice boards. And so I started using s'mores and embedding that in our school websites and on my library landing page. And they were a hit. They were an absolute hit. So I made it a point to take one of Shannon's templates every month, and then I would just change it up for myself. Now, Casey serves along with myself. This was my last year on a library core board. And one of my assignments in that group of 12 librarians that support our central library programs was to do our forward facing library programs page with reading activities for students and families. And so I had been using choice boards in my school library, but then I began to use them on our forward facing library landing page in our library management system. So this is just an example of two of the things that if you hit that page, say on February 1st, these would be two of the choices that you would have for Black History Month. One is just information about Black history, but for those who are home, you see all of these books on this bookshelf. Every one that you click on, you could then go ahead and listen to somebody read that story. They are really read alouds that are done either from things I found on Story Voice or on YouTube. So that's just one way that you can use um, choice boards. Um, I primarily use them for Heritage Month activities, special days, or seasonal activities, but they're limitless. They can be used for anything. And for students who, say, are early finishers, um, you can use a choice board to give them choices of activities. You can use them to assess learning if you're doing something in the library. If you have a unit that you finish and then you want students to demonstrate their learning, instead of saying that everybody is going to do a PowerPoint demonstration or do a 6 panel comic strip, maybe you're going to give the students 5 or 6 choices. You can let them choose, but then you have an exemplar with a rubric, and you can put it all in a choice board and let students then choose how they want to best demonstrate their learning. This is a calendar for those of you that use Pebble Go. I know we do in our district. They do holiday calendars every single month. You don't even have to create it. All you have to do is take their calendar, and then you can drop the links, an instant choice board with very little effort on your part. And I just wanted to say that a choice board is a menu of activity options that allows students to choose the way they practice a skill or show what they know. So, say you're working on climate science or global warming, and you want to give students a way to show what they know. They could write a news report. Um, if you have a green screen in your library, they could um, do a video and then they could upload that. Those are just some of the ways that you could use choice boards with a little bit of effort on the front end and not a lot on the back end. Um, what else do I want to say? So that's that slide. So Canva. So Canva, we all know and love Canva. And if you haven't already gotten your free Canva account, walk, run, do whatever you can, and get yourself your free educator account. I mean, I use it for our school website. I use it on our school IG. Um, it's just limitless. But Yesterday, we heard from Deb Zeman and Amanda Hunt that they had some amazing ideas for how to use Canva in their programming. It also has a few choice board templates, and you'll see those right there on the screen that are ready made for you to use. And if you want to get your feet wet and you don't feel that you're a great graphic designer, and you don't want to spend a lot of time designing, because let's face it, we have a lot of work on our plates as librarians. There are some templates that you can use. So in Canva, you'd want to search for education websites and then refine your search to choice boards. But you're not limited to that in Canva. You can use any presentation template design in Canva. And once you've created your board, then you share it as a website for sharing with students or families. So these are just great ways to begin for you to create whatever you like. And as long as your design is in presentation size, you can share it as a website. So when you create your choice boards, I recommend that you already have your resources ready, whether it's YouTube videos that you're linking, or you have your images or your links to what it is that you want to include. And what I sometimes do is just open just a Word document and drop my images in, because then I'm not constantly flipping from screen to screen, but you do whatever works for you. So you can do one that's more advanced, like the one on the left, or you could do a simple one like the one on the right. Either one will work. Just get started. The one thing I want to mention, because we don't have time to really delve into building a choice board in Canva, is when you are using images or videos, this image that looks like the sky in the background is the one you want to select before you drop in your video or your image. And when you drop that in, you'll see those three dots to the right. Make sure you click that and go down to link. So after you drop your picture or your screen grab of the video that you're using, then you just link it right there. And that's it. And it links immediately to your external resource. This is the one that I created specifically for us today, and it's celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. I figure that's the first big thing that's coming up when we get back to school. And so I've dropped in 4 videos. I dropped in a link to the National Museum of American History. In the center, a guiro is an instrument from Latin America made from wood and bones. That image is clickable, as is a song um, in the video below. Then also I included some art activities from Art for Kids Hub, which is found on YouTube, and then some more information from Fact Monster. Now, this particular one I did from a presentation. I didn't use a pre-made choice board, but all of these in here in my presentation, all of the ones that you see, the links are clickable. And then lastly, resources. So there's monthly choice boards. There's a Padlet there from Shannon Miller for all of her choice board galleries. There's a link to the Pebble Go calendars, and then just some other information um, for you in your choice board journey. So I can't see any questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Casey, I think we're probably going to catch up on time here. But if people have questions for me, I'm happy to talk to anyone. So if you want to raise your hand or unmute your mic, feel free to do so.
Yes, please use the raise hand button and I'll call on you and I'll unmute you. There were a couple of questions in the chat too. You might want to go back to that.
Okay, I will. Alrighty.
There was
Okay,
one
love
comment.
choices.
There was one comment about how important it is with linking YouTube videos because sometimes they are blocked.
Okay,
You real careful.
so in our district, YouTube videos are blocked as well. What I would do is I would drop the video into Play Posit. That's what we use. And then I would put the Play Posit link in the choice board.
Always a workaround.
Right.
Hmm. Any questions? Please raise your hand.
So Megan says she tried it and she had a lot of problems with IT. So that's because of the filters that your school has on the links. Okay.
There was a really good suggestion that when the librarian is out, this particular librarian said that she leaves the choice boards with the teachers so the kids will have something to work with that day. And I think that works great if your
Mhm.
kids have access to technology when you're out.
So someone said here, Marie Zimmerman, it's called Play Posit. We are not a Google school district, we're a Microsoft school district. But what I will tell you, another resource that is free is Loom. And I use that rather than Screencastify to do my read alouds because it's not blocked by our content filter and it's free. So you could actually record just the YouTube video and use the Loom link and then drop that into your choice board. Yes, my presentation is shareable. I gave the link to Casey. Casey, do you have it to drop in the chat?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Okay. Yes, and it's great for emergency subplans. I use that too, especially when we came back from the pandemic. Megan, you got Play Posit perfectly, and thanks, Christy, for Loom. And on the last slide of my presentation is my contact information. Casey, do you want me to put that back up?
Yeah, if you can, that would be helpful.
Sure. So you can email me. You can find me on X, not very active there. My school Twitter account and my cell phone number.
Yeah, I'm still trying to locate the file with your information in it because I have so many things open right now. I will
Okay.
get it and I will put it in the chat in just
Well,
a
I'm going
minute.
to stop sharing. I'll get it for you and
Okay.
I'll drop it in.
Okay. Thank you
All
so
righty.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. Let's give Sherri some love in the chat. Let's give her some love in the chat. A lot of valuable resources and information that you can definitely use during especially your first month of school, and you can carry that on for the remainder of the school year. So thanks once again.